night, and I welcome you to the first chapter of our adventure, Torvus and the Turbulent Forest. Turns out that Torvus the centaur is extremely pissed at us because there's a big mess in the Forbidden Forest, and apparently it was our fault. So let's go see why he's so upset and what exactly is going on in the forest. Alright, let's begin the mission, and the first thing we have to do is go to Hagrid's cabin to talk to him. Thanks for coming, Gladys. Is everything alright, Hagrid? You seem nervous. Now what did Fang eat? It's not about Fang, it's about Torvus. Torvus? The centaur from the Forbidden Forest? He doesn't play around. Whatever happened must be serious. I was looking for both truckles in the morning when suddenly he came towards me looking very upset. That's Torvus. Charlie says that's how Torvus is, he's always in a bad mood. But I asked Hagrid why was he upset. I don't know, he just led me right outside the forest. I didn't even have time to take my boat truckles. He must have said something. Oh, he did say something, that I shouldn't go back. Not until... Until what, Hagrid? Well, until you were with me, Gladys. Me? What would Torvus want with me? It's suspicious. Are you sure that Torvus asked for Gladys, Hagrid? I'm afraid so. He yelled that part to me while he got me out of the forest like I was an obnoxious doxy. I'm sorry, Hagrid. It's not very pleasing to face Torvus's rage. I just wish I knew what is it that he wants with me. You haven't made him upset recently, have you? Not that I remember. We actually ended up in good terms after we closed the vault in the Forbidden Forest. He even took me to the Centaur's colony after I helped him get accepted into his pack. Well, there's definitely something that he wants with you, Gladys. And it must be important. Torvus has a strong temper, but he's not irrational. I better find out what's going on and go talk to him. Don't go unprepared. You know better than anyone that dealing with centaurs is not so easy. How about I go with you, Gladys? Torvus and I get along well. Well thought, Charlie. But perhaps that won't be enough. Maybe you should also bring him an offering. What do you have in mind, Hagrid? Let's bring him rock cakes! Torvus loves them! And even if not, the intention is what counts. Nonsense, Gladys! Torvus always loves my rock cakes. I love that everyone has the same local joke that no one tells Hagrid that the rock cakes are awful. Well, not really a local joke, but more like everyone does the same for Hagrid, and I just love that detail. If you say so, Hagrid. Brilliant. Let's make a batch. Alright, very good, let's get to work. And I don't know about you guys, but I personally love this new update that if, for example, an action consumes 5 energy units, you no longer have to do the 5 clicks in order to get it done. You just do one and it takes the 5 units. I mean, it's not like it was super hard to do or anything, but I don't know, I feel it makes the game a bit more fluent, or at least a bit less tedious, like in the mechanics. And alright, Hagrid says this batch of rock cakes are ready. Thank you, Hagrid. I guess it's time to go to the forest. How do you feel about confronting Torvus, Gladys? Scared, excited, or intrigued? Well, let's see. Not excited, obviously, because he is mad at me. It's not like I say, oh yay, he's upset at me, let's go. So I would say not that one. But I would say not scared either, because although he does seem upset, I don't feel our character is in danger. I mean, if that was to be the case, it wouldn't be such a safe approach to Hagrid, that's his friend. And we also know that Torvus is a centaur and that they are civilized creatures. So I would say more intrigued. I feel more intrigued than anything by Torvus' request. I wonder what I could have done that upset him so much, and I would really like to know. Seems that we will find out soon. We better go see Torvus before he loses his patience. Or worse, his appetite. Alright, we finished the first task of the first part of this mission. Remember that the time-limited optional missions regularly have 4 parts, and each one of those has from 4 to 5 tasks. And Torvus says come to the Forbidden Forest fast and before it's too dangerous. Alright then, let's do as Torvus says, head to the forest before it's too dangerous. And we find him in the spider's nest, so let's walk over to him and ask him what is going on and why he is so upset with us. Hi Torvus, Hagrid told me you wanted to see me. Was about time, Gladys, but I don't remember calling Charlie too. I really wanted to see my great friend Torvus. It's good to see you again, Charlie, although your presence will not change my frustration. Don't worry, Torvus, we also brought one of your favorite desserts. We thought that perhaps a present could boost your mood. And that's why you brought rock cakes? Exactly! I'll save some for after solving our problem. Finally, I have a lot of curiosity to know what I did to upset you. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your ignorance, Gladys. What's going on, Torvus? What happened? A great alteration happened in the Forbidden Forest, and now there is no balance anymore. Alteration? But what does that have to do with me? Everything, Gladys. It has everything to do with you. Pay attention because I'll tell you what you have caused. Alright then, definitely, even if it's virtually, I don't like to get scolded by a centaur. I hate when magical creatures get upset at me. Alright, we finished the task of talking to Torvus, and now let's find out what's the conclusion of the talk. So opening the cursed vault broke the balance of the forest? Not only the vault, Gladys, but also the way the matter was solved. But Gladys closed the vault and helped save Hogwarts. Shouldn't you be thankful to her? Sometimes things aren't as simple as they seem, Charlie. Everything we do has consequences, and those consequences derive in unpredictable collateral effects. Even the flight of a flying flower can change the course of the world with a simple flap. I always say, never underestimate a flying flower. But how can the actions in the cursed vault worsen things in the forest? Remember the Acromantula you defeated to enter the vault? I remember the Acromantula well. I have seen him several times since the vault. Well, he hasn't gone back to his colony yet, and the other Acromantulas are very nervous without him. That's not good. If normal Acromantulas are frightening, I don't want to imagine nervous Acromantulas. Exactly. Acromantulas hate when their colony splits, so we don't know what could happen if the lost Acromantula doesn't go back. And what happened to the poor Acromantula, Torvus? All I know is that he ran away after Gladys defeated him, and he has been causing trouble all around the forest. Was it the duel that made him run away? Exactly. What do you have to say in your favor for all the harm you've caused, Gladys? Alright, so here we can choose between blaming the Acromantula like the fucking spider, why did he have to leave, or accept our responsibility. Okay, so thing here is that if we blame the Acromantula, Torvus is going to get more upset at us because we're going to make him feel that we didn't understand a word he said about our actions and the consequences they can have. So I think in this case, although the Acromantula does have some responsibility for choosing to leave his colony because they are smart enough to understand the implications, we are going to accept the responsibility because he partly decided to leave because we scared him. This is my fault. I should have been more prudent when I faced the Acromantula. I should have been more careful. That's true, but at least you own up to your mistake. If only you'd have thought that way before causing all this harm. Please, tell me how I can solve the situation, Torvus. You haven't done anything to prove that you're capable of handling this, and I'm not sure you understand the seriousness of the situation. How about we solve one of the problems first, Torvus? Maybe with that I'll show you that we are capable to help the forest. I'm not sure I should allow you to enter this sacred place, let alone do things in it. Forbid me to enter the forest? Come on, Torvus, give them a chance. I suppose Charlie's presence will keep me calm. Very well. There's an urgent problem that needs to be solved immediately. Excellent! I mean, it's excellent that we can help, not that's excellent there's a problem, of course. The centaurs haven't been able to collect water from the forest lake. But the centaurs need water! Exactly, and the forest lake is their main source. The pack is suffering and they will have to find a new home if they cannot gather water. Maybe it's the Acromantula that's causing trouble. Perhaps, but you'll have to discover it on your own. The forest is unpredictable, now more than ever. You'll have to learn to expect the unexpected if you want to succeed in your mission. That's what we will do, Torvus. I hope so, Gladys. I'm still not convinced that you're ready for what's coming, but if you fix this, you will be able to come back into the Forbidden Forest without a problem. You better go. I would hate that you were forbidden to enter the forest, Gladys. You and me both, Hagrid. Yes, seriously. And I would hate for these rock cakes to go to waste. So the best will be to give them to Fang if nobody's gonna eat them. Good luck, Hagrid! Charlie and I will go check out the problem of the centaurs at the forest lake. Alright, so we've now finished the second task of the first part of this mission. Let's go now, cause Charlie says, let's meet on the forest lake. It's time to search. Very well, Charlie. Let's see what is keeping the centaurs from gathering water. Otherwise I will not earn Torvus' trust and I may never enter the Forbidden Forest again. And alright, there we can see a giant cobweb. But Charlie says, I don't see the Acromantula anywhere. Neither do I, but look over there. The Acromantula was here, but it seems to have been a while since he left. But if the Acromantula isn't keeping the centaurs from gathering water, then who is? Good question. I suppose that's why Torvus said we should expect the unexpected. And yup, over there is something really unexpected, and that it really isn't fun to run into. A troll? That really is unexpected, and he looks very mad. Now I get why the centaurs have problems to gather water. There's a violent troll guarding the lake. You better take out your wand. We need to defeat this troll if we want to get him away from the lake. I'm thinking of what Torvus said. Our actions have collateral consequences. And I already caused a lot of harm. We must find a less violent way to lure him away from the lake. It could be risky, but perhaps we could try to communicate with him first? Great idea, Charlie! Let's see what this troll has to say. Well, yeah, I guess that if I want to be a magicologist, I have to learn to deal with all the magical creatures, so I would say they are doing what I would have done in real life. Good thing that the troll took our waving as an invitation to approach us and actually listen to what we have to tell him and not to basically break our heads with his bat. And I mean honestly just because Charlie thought of it, because to be quite sincere, it would have never occurred to me to try to reason with a troll due to my references from the movies. Remember how Ron Weasley and Harry Potter did with the troll at the bathroom? Thank you, but no thank you. I think he's trying to tell us something, Charlie. Something related to whatever he's holding in his hand. And yeah, we can see that the troll obviously is not speaking words to us, but he's trying to communicate in his own way by showing us what he's holding that appears to be a sort of plant. But what is it? It looks like a bubatuber plant. But why would a troll want a bubatuber? My god, it's hard to pronounce. Let's see, bubatuber. Yeah, my tongue gets twisted. Well, he looks very hungry. Perhaps he likes to eat them? That must be it! The troll's looking for food. But there's an enormous bubatuber field in the forest. Why does he need to look for more? Maybe something happened at the field. You think it may have something to do with the cursed bolt? Well, yeah, most likely. I don't think it's something else. It surely has something to do with the cursed bolt. Torvus said that everything in the forest was connected, so one way or another, the bubatuber camp and the vault are connected. I hope we can find out how. Let's go to the bubatuber field and solve the mystery. If we find more food for the troll, we can convince him to leave the lake. And then the centaurs will be able to come back. Exactly! I'm about to prove to Torvus that he can trust me. Okay, perfect. We have now finished the third task of the first part of the mission, Torvus and the Troubled Forest. Let's see now what we have to do. And Torvus says, I'm by the trees, come here as fast as you can. Hi Torvus, it's great to see you again. Kind words won't get me to forgive you so fast, Gladys. It was worth a try. Now tell me, how did you do with the troll in the forest lake? You knew about the troll? Of course I did. But as I said before, you have to learn to explore the unexpected. Well, we discovered why the troll was behaving violent towards the centaurs. Is that right? He's hungry and he needs bubatubers. I see. It's a very interesting discovery. Thanks, Torvus! But there's still a lot to do. The bubatuber field is completely empty. In fact, it must be another problem of the imbalance in our ecosystem. A hungry troll is a dangerous troll, so we must feed him before he causes more trouble in the forest. Why don't we look for more bubatubers in this grove? If we find any, we can give it to the troll to lure him away from the centaur's water source. And maybe we will find some clues to know what caused the scarcity or where the bubatubers went. Okay, so this mission is shorter, it's an hour long, so we will finish it fast. Fortunately, this event came along for me after all the problems that happened with the game. Remember that you couldn't recover your account from Facebook, that if you left the place where you were doing a task, your progress got resetted. But Jam City fortunately was able to fix it, and then they compensated the player with a very generous amount of energy gift. So that really helped me a lot throughout this mission. There's a green and sticky substance covering the floor, and broken plant pieces everywhere. And footprints. It's clear what happened here. They stepped over the bubatubers. Step over them? Who, the centaurs? How dare you, Gladys! Oh no. Centaurs have lived peacefully in the forest for a very long time. And unlike humans, we treat our surroundings with a lot of love and respect. Alright, I hate when I cannot control the stupidities my characters say, because in this case we made a rather stupid question. Because if it would have been the centaurs stepping on the bubatubers, first of all they wouldn't be so worried to return the balance to the forest if they are vandalizing it, and second of all, they wouldn't be so lost on what's going on in the forest and why it's happening. So in this case I think that instead of trying to calm him down, like come on Torvus, don't exaggerate, it's not a big deal. Nah, I think we should apologize. We did cross the line big time here. I'm sorry, Torvus. It was not my intention. Even so, you are responsible of the consequences, even if it was not your intention to cause them. I appreciate your apology, but be sure to learn your lesson. Well, if it wasn't the centaurs, then who stepped on them, Torvus? There's only one explanation. They are the sleepwalkers that are lured into the forest by the cursed bolt. I knew this would have something to do with the bolt. Yes, as I predicted, the bolt is the source of all these problems. So the sleepwalkers stepped on the bubatubers, which made the forest troll go to the lake. And that's keeping the centaurs from gathering water? A little problem unleashed other bigger ones. That's it. You're now starting to understand the fragile and complicated nature of our actions. But that was the easy part. Now you have to repair the damage you've caused. That sounds very challenging, right, Gladys? Well, I mean, yeah, I don't want to complain like, oh my god, it's too hard, but it's not easy, it's going to be complex, so yes, repairing the damage sounds challenging. We don't even know where it begins or ends. Then you must start from what you know. If I manage to solve this problem, maybe I will recover your trust, Torvus. We'll see about that, Gladys. But for now, focus on the present problem. How about we start with the Bubotubers? If we make them grow again, then maybe the troll will come back and leave the Centaur's lake. But hurry! Problems increase when time passes. How good are you growing Bubotubers, Charlie? Not good at all, to be honest. Then we will need help. Let's go see Professor Sprout. Alright guys, so we completed the first part of 4 of this optional mission called Torvus and the Turbulent Forest. So next part of this mission, we are going to go see Professor Sprout to see if she can help us grow new Bubotubers to give to the troll so that he leaves the centaurs alone. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell so YouTube lets you know when I upload the second part of this optional mission called Torvus and the Turbulent Forest. Mrs. Midnight loves you, hopes you had fun, and hopes to see you next time. Mischief managed.